here for my 5th Medicine X. I couldn't be more pleased that the purpose is to present an outstanding startup entrepreneur. And I'm also here to help Gary with his French, because the name of the person we're going to be presenting is Pierre Camille Altman. You could practice that or call him Pierre. So why am I here? Well, I met Dr. Larry Chu in 2010 in the Netherlands at a conference, because everybody said, hey, Larry, you got to meet Denise, and Denise, you got to meet Larry. Like Larry, I was already a very busy person, in my case as a digital health consultant. And like Larry, I had the same vision of a new patient-centric world. And like Larry, I was about to create a conference, because I didn't have enough to do, that was going to be a patient-included new technologies conference. And so we became conference brother and sister. My event, Doctors 2.0 and You in Paris, includes an annual startup contest. In fact, Withings, whom you saw here, was a winner of the first year. So we know how to pick them. Each year, a Medicine X fellow, it was Brandy Singfield last year, comes to moderate the startup session with an international jury of patients and professionals. So Pierre Camille Altman's company won the first place this summer at the 6th edition. And Pierre's amazing story is that he was originally a fighter pilot, selected by the French Air Force at age 18, subsequently flying transport missions for several years worldwide. And that wasn't enough to satisfy his humanitarian mission. He quit to do something more meaningful and to help others. And he thought, I'll bet you there's something new technologies could do to improve diabetes follow-up. He knew firsthand about the gaps in diabetes because his father is a pioneering academic endocrinologist. So when he was already exploring tech startup ideas, he happened to attend a small Diabetes 2.0 event that I had organized. That's where we met. He co-founded the company that he's going to present called Be4Life in 2014 with the myDiabby healthcare program. So we're going to give a big hand to Pierre.
Thank you, Denise. Thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here today with this amazing event. So I'm going to show you what we are going and what we are doing in my French startup company. So I'm the CEO and co-founder of Be4Life, and Be4Life's mission is to democratize a remote and continuous healthcare and diabetic follow-up in France and soon all over the world, I hope. So myDiabby is the first platform we made because there are a lot of people working around diabetes over the world, and we just saw that a lot are working on patient side with simple apps, or others are working on the hospital side with hospital platform dealing with patient files just to manage all of that. And in fact, very few are sharing our vision to make a link between them. So we had a lot of ideas around that, and so we wanted to try something. And so we created myDiabby, and we started with gestational diabetes, because gestational diabetes is quite huge. It's 10% of pregnant women over the world who will develop diabetes during the pregnancy, and a lot of people just forget this kind of diabetes. So we start with that, and also because it's perfect for technology, because it's young woman, it's always a woman. For example, in type 2 diabetes, we are old man and all of that. So gestational diabetes, it's always woman, young woman with an average age of 31. And the goal is the same, having a healthy baby and a happy mother. So we started with myDiabby, and we developed 2 portals in the platform. One portal for the patient, where the patient can bring data, glycemia, insulin, and all about the nutrition, and they will receive real-time feedback. And we also developed some algorithm for pushing some notification for the patient. And another main part here is all the educational part, with a lot of videos, resources about gestational diabetes to help them understand that. And on the other side, because the link is here, we believe on the link between patient and healthcare professional. On the other side, you have the team of the patient. And the goal here, one of the goals is to save time. We want to avoid that the doctors has to go every day on each file of the patient looking for what's going on, if there is something wrong. So we developed some algorithm to push the right information to the right moment. And it's working quite well, and eventually we became the biggest telemedicine program in France in 1.5 years, and we now followed thousands of patients, and we have 10,000 telemonitoring events each month in France, thanks to more than 400 healthcare professionals, including nurses, doctors, and dietitians. And this network of more than 50 hospitals is quite amazing. It's working with gestational diabetes, with French countries, and so why just keep that for gestational diabetes? So I'm very happy to announce that in 2016, we will launch myDiabby at the end of the year for all type of diabetes. So we will bring that for type 2, type 1 diabetes, who will be available, and soon in English. And at the beginning of 2017, we are going to launch a worldwide marketplace for doctors to offer remote healthcare for diabetic people looking for follow-up. Because we just discovered that a lot of people, even if in developed countries, even don't have access to specialists. And so, for example, in practical cases, imagine you have an Indian people living in UK and just looking for a nutrition specialized in Indian food. So we can go on the marketplace, just saw all the profile and choose what kind of nutrition he wants. Or maybe this type 2 diabetic people living in Utah without any specialist around him, so he can go on the marketplace, choose the doctor he wants, specialized in type 2 diabetes, for example, and just have, and because he deserves this continuous follow-up. And so it's all about people, and if all of that is here, it's thanks to my amazing team. We have a medical director, Jean-Jacques Altman, is a professor, PhD, specialized in diabetes and very complicated diabetes. We also have an amazing computer scientist, Cyril, who make a lot of stuff because we have a lot of things to do in technical area. We have Anastasia, because it's very nice to have great idea, but it's better to have great execution. And thanks to Anastasia, things are very well done. And she is a former French Air Force pilot too, as me. And we also have a great partnership for design and legal and all of that. As you can see, we are still a small team, but I believe that small is beautiful and it's powerful because it gives us momentum that patients and healthcare professionals are waiting for here in France. And if we don't want that the next 10 years to be like the last 10 years, then now we have to do something different. We believe that. Thank you very much.